Hi, first graders. Happy Monday. I hope you all had a great weekend. We are beginning week 8 of distance learning. Can you believe it? I can hardly believe it. Today I'm going to start by reading a story to you, and I'm wondering if this will give you a clue for what we are going to be talking about in math this week. This story is called When a Line Bends, a Shape Begins by Rhonda Gowler Green, illustrated by James Kaxman. I think I'm going to really like the illustrations in this story. They look kind of silly. A line is thin, a line is narrow, curved like a worm, straight as an arrow. A line is a jump rope, black ants in a row, a tug-of-war game and a violin bow, a tall pole for fishing, a leash and a trail, a kite string, a shoelace, a whisker, a tail. Are these all things you can think of that are in a line, whether it's curvy and wiggly or if it's straight? Yes, a line is fine, but when a line swerves, when a line bends, watch what can happen. A shape begins. That strong man is bending the line to make what shape, first graders? A square is 4 sides, all the same. The boxes of a hopscotch game, a patch to cover up your knee, a present sent from you to me. A checkerboard of red and black, blocks to build with, share and stack. A cracker is a square to eat. A square dance is for happy feet. A rectangle is like a square with something rearranged. 2 sides are long and 2 are short. The 4 sides now are changed. Rectangles, a book to read, a window and a door, a picture hanging on the wall, a rug that warms the floor, a sign for selling lemonade, a box that you can hide in, a letter from the postman, and a wagon 2 can ride in. See a whole lot of rectangles on this page. Do you, first graders? A triangle is 3. 3 sides, 3 corners, 2. The white sail of a boat, a tent built just for you. A jack-o'-lantern's eyes, a wicked witch's hat, the beak of a black crow, the pricked ears of a cat. An instrument to ring, the pyramids of old, a lunch of jam and bread, a napkin in a fold. Those are all things that are triangles. A diamond sits upon a point. Its 4 sides are the same. What other shape has 4 sides that are all the same? A square. A giant green one is the infield of a baseball game. Yellow ones along the roads serve as warning signs. Black and white ones stand out bold in fancy floor designs. Baby's gates are wooden ones that you can stretch or squeeze. A ballerina's legs form one when bending at the knees. A circle's a button, a sock hole to mend, a shiny blue marble, a penny to spend, a bubble, a yo-yo, a red hula hoop, the fishbowl Mom fills with hot noodle soup. I'm not sure why I said the fishbowl. It's just a regular bowl that Mom fills with soup. Misread that. A nest in a tree, a cookie to eat, cymbals to clang, a big drum to beat, bicycle wheels, a tin tambourine, a tiny curled kitten, a crown for a queen. An oval's like a circle, except it's not as stout. 2 sides go in to make it thin. 2 other sides go out. Oval is a turtle shell, away a pie balloon, a beetle and a jelly bean, the curved scoop of a spoon. It's a mirror made to look in, an egg all colored bright, a mouth that's filled with singing, and baby bundled tight. Those are all things that are an oval. Star is a five-pointed shape, shining bright. Star shares the sky with the moon late at night. It tops tinseled trees in a season so merry. It sits on the tip of the wand of a fairy. Gold ones are given for good work in schools. The sheriff's star warns the bad guys of the rules. A shooting star vanishes quick with a swish. Star even is the shape of a fish. Heart goes beat-a-beat-beat inside you all the time. It's also in the shape that says, I love you, Valentine. A crescent is a slender shape, a yellow fruit to eat, a hammock strung between two trees for Dad to rest his feet. It is a smile when curving up, when down it is a frown. It is the moon when day is done and hangs above the town. An octagon has many sides, all counted there are 8. You see it at the corner, it tells the cars to wait. Good thing I have lots of practice reading upside down there, first graders, because the words go around the sign, and I had to read upside down. Shapes are here, shapes are there. Wherever you look, a circle, a square, a diamond, octagon, crescent, or star, shapes to discover wherever you are. Do you see lots of shapes in this picture, first graders? I see many different shapes. A rectangle, triangle, oval, or heart, shapes with a curve or a corner to start. Anywhere, everywhere, shapes big and small. Dependable, bendable lines make them all. There's a bird juggling all the shapes. Hopefully this gives you a clue of what we will be talking about this week in math. Let's go ahead and start with our morning note, and then we'll do a quick little math lesson. Dear first graders, today is Monday. The book I just read was all about shapes. Can you guess what we will be learning about in math? Have a magnificent Monday. Love, Mrs. Baker. Remember to go on Seesaw if you are able to make corrections to this note. Go ahead and find page 635 in your math book, first graders. This is what your page should look like. We have been talking about clocks, but now we are going to start talking about shapes, and we'll talk about a couple shapes each day. I'm sure you already know a lot about shapes, but we're going to be talking about more specific features that shapes have. We are actually going to skip this first page and jump right into talking about the features that we will be working with. So go ahead and turn your page to 636. At the top of page 636, it says, two-dimensional shapes are flat shapes. They can be open or closed. So first graders, I want you to put your finger on that open rectangle right now. It's the first one you see. Do you see how it only has 3 sides to it and there's no 4th side closing the shape? That is an open rectangle. The next shape you see is a closed rectangle. The pig couldn't just walk right into it because it ran into that wall. That's why the pig looks dizzy right now. So they can be open or closed. Beneath that, it says squares and rectangles are two-dimensional shapes. They are closed. They have straight sides and also vertices, or a vertex. Now, vertex is a new word, first graders. I think we all know that a side is a line, a straight line. But a vertex is the corner. So you can see that the vertex is pointing to the corner of that square. Let's count how many sides that square has. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can go ahead and write 4 sides. Now, how many corners do you see? The math word we're going to use is a vertex or vertices. How many vertices do you see? 1 corner, 2 corners, 3 corners, and 4 corners. And remember that math word is vertices. So we see 4 vertices for the square. Now we are going to look at the shape on the right side of the square. This is a rectangle. Let's count the number of sides that we see, first graders. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can go ahead and write 4 sides. Now when we count the vertices, do you remember what part of the shape we are going to count? The corners where 2 lines meet. So let's count the areas where 2 lines meet on the rectangle. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 vertices. The square and the rectangle have the same number of sides and the same number of vertices. What do you notice about the 2 shapes? How are they the same and how are they different? For numbers 1 and 2, it says write how many sides and vertices. You are going to do the same thing that we just did with the square and rectangle above with these 2 shapes. Count the number of sides and the number of vertices. Remember, first graders, you can always pause the video to do your work and then press play when you're ready to continue. For numbers 3, 4, 5, and 6 on the top of page 637, you are going to continue to count the sides and vertices for each shape. For numbers 7 and 8, it says circle the objects that match the first shape. So for number 7, I see a rectangle there. And even though that rectangle is tilted to the side a little bit, you can still think about the shape, how many sides, vertices, the length of the sides, and circle the objects that match that shape. Same thing for number 8. Think about the length of each side, how many sides there are, and how many vertices there are. Number 9 at the bottom says circle the closed shapes. Think back up to the top of page 636. Do you remember seeing the pig with the open and the closed rectangles? Take a look at the shapes for number 9 and circle the shapes that are closed. There are no openings to let a little piggy in. Number 10 gives you a little riddle. I'm going to read it to you, and then you can use the word bank on the right side of the page here. You'll have to look at the screen. It's not actually on your paper. I just added it on the screen. But you can use that word bank to solve the riddle. Number 10 says, I am a closed 2-dimensional shape that has 4 vertices. All of my sides are the same length. What shape am I? So you're thinking of a shape that is closed, has 4 vertices, and 4 sides that are all the same length. Will that be a square or a rectangle, first graders? Write your answer on the line. Number 11 is another riddle. Listen carefully and then use the word bank to answer the riddle. It says, I am a closed 2-dimensional shape that has 4 sides. 2 of my sides are long. 2 of my sides are short. What shape am I? It says to explain to a friend, but you can just write your answer and then explain to somebody at home what makes a square different from a rectangle. How do you know the description of a square from the description of a rectangle, first graders? Tell somebody at home. At the bottom, the right math part says use the words closed, sides, and vertices to describe the square. There's a green square there and it wants you to describe that shape. You can either write your description or you can talk about the description with somebody at home. The choice is yours.